Hi there, Bonnie Adam again from pathwayshealing.com. I'm here with some more information about Reiki for you. I'm on about this subject quite a bit lately, but I do find that people have a lot of questions and there's a lot of confusion about what Reiki is and how you should go about learning it and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try and clear some of that up for you today. And this is my opinion and my experience. I have been teaching Reiki for almost 15 years, so I've heard a lot, I've seen a lot. And I'm going to tell you that when I first started teaching Reiki, I basically just taught Reiki the way that I was taught. This is the way I was taught to do it, so this is the way I'm doing it. And then over the last maybe 5 or 6 years, I've started really reevaluating some of my own biases and some of my own opinions about Reiki, and just kind of trying to open my mind to what's out there. The first thing I'm going to tell you is, it's my recommendation that if possible, you take your class, your Reiki training from in person, from a Reiki master in person. That's not always possible, either financially or location-wise. Maybe there's nobody in your area, so I think we need to be more flexible about what works for people. The one thing that I'm going to say though is, try to find a high-quality program. I mean, there's no sense, maybe you can get your Reiki training for $40 or $60 or something like that, but is it a quality program? So I'm going to try and go over a little bit about what you want to look for in a class too. Once you start Googling Reiki classes, you're going to see a lot of online training courses. You're going to see people in your area. You're going to see places like the International Center for Reiki Training if you're anywhere near the US. The website is reiki.org. That's a really great resource for more information about Reiki and Reiki training. In Canada, we have the Canadian Reiki Association, so that's reiki.ca. They have a lot of great information about Reiki and Reiki training. On my website, pathwayshealing.com, under my workshops tab, it says Reiki classes, and there I have class descriptions for all of the classes that I teach and what I include in every class there too. So those are some places you can go to look for more information. But going back to, you're going to Google Reiki classes and you're going to find Rainbow Reiki and Crystal Reiki and Angel Reiki and Usui Reiki and Tibetan Reiki and Karuna Reiki, and there's all these different kinds of Reiki out there. And Reiki is Reiki. Reiki is the channeling of energy in the positive intention for the highest good of the other person. So, and you can use it for yourself too. So you're channeling energy, hoping that your positive energy and your positive intention then helps another person or helps yourself. I gotta tell you, this stuff works. It's great, but sounds a little flaky, I know, but I do this stuff like every day, so I know it works. So getting back to the point of what I was talking about, so you're gonna find all these different kinds of Reiki, and you're gonna see time frames that are crazy. Like, some classes are a couple of hours, here and there, and other classes are like days and days, and they include all this stuff. And what does all that mean? Like, what's the best thing for me if I want to go learn Reiki? Start with something simple. Start with what appeals to you. If you're into angels, maybe you want to do that angel class. If you're into self-help and you like to do things on your own time, maybe you want to look into something online and see how that works for you. And if you want to go to, there's a Reiki class at Stonehenge. There are Reiki classes in sacred sites, things like that. There's animal Reiki, So go to where you feel attracted and to what works for you, what seems to perk in your mind and what in your intuition, in your gut. Also, you want to look at things like price and, just compare around and see, like, okay, if people are somewhat in the same price range, then probably they're being fair. If one person's charging $10 and the other person is charging $10,000, well, maybe there's a little discrepancy there. I'd want to know what is included in that class. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown. In a level 1 class, there's usually 3 levels. So level 1, you want to learn about the history of Reiki. You want to learn about what Reiki is and how it works and how it's really explained as to how the human energy field works and what we're doing in that. And you want to be attuned. There is an attunement process where the Reiki master opens up your energy field so you can process and channel energy more effectively. Sometimes that can be done by video, or, again, if you could possibly do it in person, it's best. And then you want to have practice time where you learn how to give a treatment to yourself and you learn how to give a treatment to someone else. and you have practice time for that. So you should be leaving level 1 knowing how to give a basic treatment to yourself and to others. And you maybe will, how to give a treatment to an animal, a plant, whatever. So level 2 is the next one. Level 2 is where you should be learning 3 Reiki symbols. You should be learning how to use those symbols in treatment, and you should be learning about distance healing and maybe some mental emotional healing. And that's kind of level 2 in a nutshell, and practice time again on how to do those things. Then there's Reiki Master. In the traditional system, there's 3 levels. So Master level is really about learning to teach and attune other people and how to sort of behave and conduct yourself as a Reiki Master. So that's, and I'm going to say usually, and the way I teach it anyway, level 1 is about a day, level 2 is about a day, and Master level is about 2 days. I describe them as initiations. You're now initiated into level 1. Go practice. Some teachers will say you have to have X number of practice sessions before you come back for the next level, or you have to wait 3 months or 6 months or a year or something like that. Other teachers like me are a little more relaxed and casual, where I say use your intuition and feel like, do you feel confident with level 1? Do you feel ready to move on to level 2? Do you feel ready to be a Reiki Master? Give yourself some time and think about that. Tune in. What does it feel like? And have you had a chance to practice at least, on some different people or some different situations? And one of the reasons I'm a little less stringent about that is because not everybody wants to be a practitioner. Not everybody wants to make Reiki a business. So they may be just using it for personal growth and for self-help, and that's totally fine. And maybe they don't need to learn about how to be a professional practitioner in the Reiki field. And I kind of trust people to know themselves better than I know them. And I trust people to maybe do their own homework and figure out, if I'm going to run a business with this, then I need to learn some more. So I leave that up to each individual person to figure that out for themselves. I like to try, I know I'm not perfect, but I try to accept other methods of training and other lineages and other teachers for their own methods. And I think that if they're teaching in a way that suits you as a person, you're going to go to that teacher. If I'm teaching in a way that suits you as a person, you're going to come to me. And I think everybody's going to get what they need out of Reiki. Even if it's something that's very, very brief and not in person, and maybe it's an online course or a distance course, some Reiki is always better than no Reiki. So let's just try to spread this beautiful healing energy to as many people as we can without judging and criticizing each other. As far as classes go too, there are lots of other optional things that can be included in classes. They don't have to be, though, for your training to be complete. So some people add another level between level 2 and Master, and that's called maybe Advanced Reiki Training or a Reiki Master Practitioner. And that class has a whole bunch of really cool techniques in it, but you don't have to do that class. Some people go through like a Meet Your Spirit Guide kind of thing and exercises like that. That can be included in a class, but it doesn't have to be. Another thing that can be included is working on your intuition or your psychic abilities. Again, that's really fun and interesting, but it might not appeal to everybody. And it could be part of your Reiki class, but you don't have to do it. In fact, I actually offer a psychic development home study course on my website, pathwayshealing.com. So if you'd like to do that on your own, it's right there. Go ahead and do it. So there's just a lot of alternatives and a lot of questions and things like that. But as long as you stick with those sort of 3 basic levels and you're getting those things like level 1, history, philosophy, how to give a treatment, level 2, some symbols, some distance healing, some practice time again, and the Master level, learning how to attune others, then you pretty much got the whole thing in there. So I hope that helps you, and I hope you have a wonderful Reiki-filled day.